That's Desiree and Feel So High. Time now to welcome our next guest this morning, and we have got David here. David Hart, good morning.
Good morning.
And you are a freelance film critic. You've worked with the likes of Empire magazine, lots of other magazines, so you are a film guru, but you're a very homegrown Essex film guru.
Yes, from Lee.
So you're going to tell us all about the big movies that we can expect this summer and what's coming out at the moment. But I wanted to ask you first of all, because you were just saying you've just seen the new Avengers movie.
I have indeed, yeah.
Any good?
It shouldn't work. It's a film that really shouldn't function because of the amount of characters they're trying to balance at one time. But thanks to the genius of Joss Whedon, who's responsible for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Firefly, Dollhouse, Angel, the film actually comes together very well. The characters seem to work as an ensemble piece rather than struggling to become centre stage at any one time. No one really steals the show as such. They work together very well.
Not even Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man?
No, he does get a lot of the laughs. He does get quite a lot of time to himself, but he complements the other characters. He has one or two scenes with Mark Ruffalo, who plays the Hulk in this movie. And their scenes together are fantastic. They seem to really work together. Mark Ruffalo gets a lot of the heart and soul of the movie. And, I mean, personally, I was always a bit of a sceptic of the Hulk. I kind of feel that when you're that indestructible, the audience can't relate to you. But in this movie, you really start to feel for him, and he comes across really well. And so no one really steals it. They work together. And it comes across, Joss Whedon knows how silly it is. He knows how ludicrous the concept is. So he brings in his dry wit and his humour and things that we've gotten used to with things like Buffy and Angel. And it makes the film so enjoyable because it just understands how ridiculous it is, and it doesn't try to be anything else other than a big family action blockbuster.
With loads of superheroes in it.
With some of the best superheroes you'll ever see. And there are brilliant moments where they really do work together, and the action scenes are fantastic. They are huge. And where some action movies seem to fall into putting the camera so close to the action you can't see what's going on, Joss seems to enjoy pulling back and showing the audience just how big the carnage is. And it worked. Like I say, it works really well. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I absolutely loved it. And I'll be going to see it again this week, without fail.
What else is out at the moment or coming up in the next few weeks? Any other big blockbuster movies?
Well, next week we've got American Pie Reunion, which is obviously the reunion of the original cast members coming back. Now, I liked the first two. I was 13 when I saw them. So I think it's going to be nothing more than a bit of nostalgic fun. I don't think it's going to be anything special, but it'll be quite good.
Let's face it, Stifler is one of the best characters ever invented in movies.
He is. I mean, of course, he always gets the best moments as well, and some of the more surreal moments.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a few scenes in American Pie, the wedding, that were quite insane. But,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, other than that, as we go into the summer, we've got Dark Shadows, which is Tim Burton's new film, starring Johnny Depp, obviously.
Obviously.
We've then got The Raid. Now, I wanted to just say mention The Raid really quickly. The Raid has been hailed as probably the best action film ever made. So that's definitely one to look out for in the next couple of weeks. And then we move into the summer season, really, with some of the biggest films I think ever made. This is a huge season this year. We've got Men in Black 3. We've got Wes Anderson's new film, Moonrise Kingdom, which has probably got the best cast I've ever heard in my life. We've got Bruce Willis, Edward Norton, Jason Schwartzman, Tilda Swinton and Bill Murray, all in the same film. So that looks fantastic. And then in June, we've got Prometheus, which is Ridley Scott's new movie. It's a return to the Alien franchise, which Alien is one of my favourite films of all time. I saw that when I was 6 years old, which is...
Weren't you a bit young to be seeing Alien?
Yeah, probably, but I fell in love with it. I was terrified by it, obviously, but I fell in love with it. And to see him coming back to the series that, let's be honest, was somewhat ruined by Alien Resurrection and the two Alien vs Predator movies, but...
You can't say that about Alien vs Predator.
I can. I didn't like it, and I don't like the directors that worked on them either. I think
I'm going to play some music now while you and I have a row. This is Emily Sandy next to me. Our guest in the studio this morning is David Hart, our very own freelance film critic from here in Essex, and we've concluded our row about Alien vs Predator, haven't we? Yeah. And I'm right. Anyway, so Prometheus, that's another big release in the summer. What else is there coming up this summer?
Well, straight after Prometheus, we've got The Amazing Spider-Man, which is Sony's reboot of the Spider-Man series. We've now got Andrew Garfield, who's a British actor, most known for his role in The Social Network last year, playing the hero himself. We've got a great supporting cast in that movie. We've got Reese Fans playing the Lizard, who's the villain of the film. We've got the Martin Sheen playing Uncle Ben. We've got Sally Fields and Emma Stone, who we last saw in Crazy Stupid Love and Easy A last year. It looks pretty good. I don't think it'll be up to the same standard as Sam Raimi's first 3 movies. Might be better than Spider-Man 3, but we can go into that one another time. But it does look like it'll be fun. It looks like it'll be a good way to reboot the series. I don't have much hope for it, to put it that way. After that, we've got the biggest film of the year. It will quite obviously be the biggest film probably of all time, which is Dark Knight Rises, which I'm very excited about. I'm not as excited about it as I am with Prometheus. But, it's the final of Chris Nolan's trilogy. We've got a fantastic cast. Not only have we got Christian Bale coming back, obviously, we've got the returning cast of Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, Gary Oldman. And now we've got Tom Hardy playing Bane. We've got Anne Hathaway coming in as Catwoman, and we've got Inception stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Marion Cotillard coming in as well. So we know it's going to be massive. It's got over an hour of IMAX footage in it as well, which is a massive step up from the 20 minutes that are in Dark Knight. It's clearly going to take over $1 billion in its first week. It's going to be huge. Whether or not it'll be the best film of this year, I don't know. I still have my hopes for Prometheus.
Well, I have to say, I was very excited until I started reading the internet early this week. Now, regular listeners to the show will know I am a massive J.R. Tolkien fan. Absolutely love Lord of the Rings. So to say I'm a bit overexcited about The Hobbit is an understatement. However, there's been, which you probably as a film person have picked up all this internet stuff there's been this week, 'cause they showed it, didn't they?
Yes.
A big comic convention in America. They had a cut of it, and it wasn't met with very warm reception. No,
the thing is, what Peter Jackson has done is, because he wants to film it in 3D. Now, my opinion on 3D is it's a waste of time. We shouldn't have to bother with 3D. But what he's tried to do is, because there have been complaints about 3D over recent years with it being slightly out of focus, slightly blurry, too dark, he's decided to film it with these super high def cameras that film at 48 frames a second, which is double the usual amount a film camera takes, which is 24 frames a second. The problem it's been having, though, not only it does clean up the 3D effect, it does make it look a lot clearer, but with that, it makes the film look a bit cheap. It looks a bit, what people have been describing as a bit of a soap opera feel. It looks too clean, too shiny, it looks a bit fake and a bit unrealistic. So people so far have not been too warm to it.
Oh, it's very upsetting.
But it could, I mean, if you go and see it in 2D, maybe that'll make a difference. Maybe you'll be able to still enjoy it. Again, it's one of those films I don't see the point in it being in 3D, but that's just my opinion. It's The Hobbit, after all. It's going to be a massive film. I'm looking forward to it. I like Lord of the Rings very much. And we've got Martin Freeman playing Bilbo Baggins, which is the perfect choice. Obviously, we're all enjoying him in Sherlock as Dr. Watson. So I think the cast looks great. The film looks great. With the way the reports coming back from Vegas, it does sound a little bit worrying. Well,
we'll be sat here in 6 months' time when we've actually seen it. We'll be able to discuss it then.
I'm sure we'll all be singing its praises.
Wonderful. Well, Dave, thank you very much for coming in and talking to us. And you've kindly agreed to come back on a regular basis and be our show film reviewer, haven't you?
Whenever you want me, I'll be here.
Oh, bless you. Thank you very much. Let's have a little bit of music from Daniel Bedingfield, and then we'll check out the latest traffic and travel.
If only I could get out of sky, do this. Out of sky, do this.